A turbulent era lies ahead. You must stay alert and always be aware of the flow of events in the world.
We don't have time to waste. Let's begin.
Originally released last year on the PlayStation 4, fans who wanted to experience The Legend of Heroes Trails of Cold Steel 3 on Nintendo Switch had to wait 8 months longer to sink their teeth into the next beefy adventure in the lauded series. Ultimately, those who chose portability over an earlier opportunity to play will find that choice confirmed as the correct one, and the previous 5 out of 5 review awarded to the PlayStation 4 version is well deserved. Trails of Cold Steel 3 adjusts the pacing in comparison to the first 2 games in multiple ways. Outside of combat, the story focuses on fewer but larger locations. Being developed solely for consoles, it takes a step up in graphical fidelity from the previous titles that were held back by supporting the PlayStation Vita. Trails of Cold Steel 3 retains the same overall gameplay mechanics but brings in some fresh ones too. In battle, each enemy now has a break gauge, which adds a new twist to combat strategies. Depleting this bar puts enemies in a break state, which not only eliminates all of their buffs, but boosts the damage done to them. Enemies in a break state are further delayed in acting with successive attacks, allowing players to lay down serious damage. Further enhancing the party's power are Brave Orders, which can provide vital buffs or protection that can turn the tide of battle. For the orally inclined, Falcom sound team JDK once again delivers a masterful soundtrack. And while an additional combat theme or victory fanfare would have been appreciated, those present never really wear out their welcomes. Haunting tunes underlie major story reveals, while heart-pounding melodies play during times of heightened activity and show that Falcom's understanding of setting a scene remains razor sharp. The game's voice acting is top-notch, with nearly all of the original Class 7 returning to reprise their roles in the new title. It's exciting to see the returning characters and understand how they've changed in the 2 years since the end of the second game. For those jumping into Trails of Cold Steel as their first title in the series, there are useful introductions to important characters from both Trails in the Sky and Crossbell series. Newcomers can also consult the backstory option in the main menu to get an overview of the plot and characters from the first 2 Cold Steel titles. Whether you're arriving fresh or with plenty of Trails experience under your belt, Trails of Cold Steel 3 does a great job at ensuring neither of those positions are inherently superior. All versions of Trails of Cold Steel 3 are identical in content, story, presentation, and gameplay, but there are some technical differences. It's true that the Switch version has a slightly lower resolution and frame rate, particularly in handheld mode. That being said, the graphics absolutely hold up on the Nintendo Hybrid system, taking advantage of the platform's strengths rather than attempting to reach graphical parity. As the game can easily take upwards of 100 hours to complete, looking good in both handheld and docked mode is important, and the port certainly pulls it off. The Switch version of Trails of Cold Steel 3 does suffer from some issues, however. Crashing and softlocks can occur, most notably during Chapter 2's Crossbell story arc. Using the Switch's burn-in reduction, as well as plugging in controllers during very specific circumstances, can also cause an occasional crash, though the average player is unlikely to line up the necessary combination of factors to see most of these. The one exception to this is Alyssa's attacks, which cause the game to lag slightly. There is a patch arriving on launch day, June 30th, which will resolve at least some of these issues, though NIS America has not specified the precise fixes included, or what may be coming further down the line. Even with a little bit of lost progress, I had a ton of fun with Trails of Cold Steel 3, and the time I played it practically flew by. It was easy to sit down and expect just to play 30 minutes before suddenly realizing hours had passed. Cold Steel 3 is a great combination of combat, questing, story development, and minigames that is packed with charm. Now comes the toughest decision. Do I wait for Trails of Cold Steel 4 to release on Switch in 2021, or do I scoop up the PS4 version when it arrives later this year on October 27th?
Trails of Cold Steel 3.